Boarding a plane with a briefcase and disappearing into thin air, that's the story of D.B. Cooper. Picture it. The day was November 24, 1971. A man identified as Dan Cooper, but later famously known as D.B. Cooper, purchased a one-way ticket on Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle. He paid in cash, a small detail that would later become significant. Cooper was a man of mystery, his calm demeanor belying the audacious act he was about to commit. He was nondescript, just another passenger in a suit and tie carrying a briefcase. Yet what lay within that briefcase would soon grip a nation. As the plane ascended, Cooper passed a note to the flight attendant. Assuming it was another lonely businessman's phone number, she slipped the note, unread, into her pocket. Cooper leaned closer, whispering, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." The flight attendant read the note, her eyes widening as Cooper opened his briefcase, giving her a glimpse of wires and red cylinders. The note was a demand: $200,000 in $20 bills and 4 parachutes. Cooper's audacity didn't end there. He instructed the pilots to fly towards Mexico City, with specific instructions on altitude and speed, designed to aid an airborne escape. Upon landing in Seattle, the authorities met Cooper's demands. The passengers were released, oblivious to the drama that had unfolded. With the ransom money and parachutes in hand, Cooper ordered the plane to take off again. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, in the cover of the night, Cooper did the unthinkable. He jumped. His exit was as mysterious as his entrance. Despite an extensive manhunt and investigation, D.B. Cooper has never been found. Whether he survived the jump or not, we may never know. His audacious act, his calm demeanor, and his inexplicable disappearance have solidified D.B. Cooper as one of the most enigmatic figures in the annals of unsolved mysteries. Despite an extensive manhunt and investigation, D.B. Cooper has never been found. Who was D.B. Cooper, and how did he execute such a daring escape? This is the question that has continued to perplex investigators and mystery enthusiasts alike for decades. In the wake of the audacious heist, the Federal Bureau of Investigation launched one of its most extensive manhunts in history. Despite initial optimism, the investigation was fraught with challenges. The lack of tangible evidence and the vast expanse of the potential drop zone made the search for Cooper and the missing cash extraordinarily difficult. Over the years, the FBI considered over 1,000 potential suspects, but none could be definitively linked to the crime. Theories about Cooper's identity ranged from a disgruntled ex-employee with a grudge against the airline to a seasoned criminal with a knack for disappearing without a trace. But without concrete evidence, these remain just theories. Then, in 1980, a startling discovery was made. A young boy, while on a family outing, stumbled upon 3 bundles of cash on the banks of the Columbia River. The money, totaling an approximately $6,000, was confirmed to be part of the ransom paid to Cooper. This discovery reignited interest in the case and spurred a flurry of new theories. Did Cooper perish in the jump with the money being carried downstream by the river? Or did he survive and intentionally left the money as a red herring to throw off investigators? Again, without further evidence, these questions remain unanswered. As for the remaining $200,000, it continues to elude discovery. Theories abound, with some speculating that the money was spent or hidden. Others believe it may still be out there, waiting to be found. Despite the countless hours dedicated to the investigation, the identity and fate of D.B. Cooper remain a mystery. The case was officially closed in 2016, but it continues to capture the imagination of the public. The D.B. Cooper case remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in U.S. history. A well-dressed man found dead on a beach, a cryptic note in his pocket. The mystery of the Somerton man has baffled investigators for decades. The year was 1948, in the city of Adelaide, Australia. The setting was Somerton Beach, a picturesque stretch of sand that would etch its name in the annals of mystery lore. The discovery of an immaculately dressed man, lying lifeless on the sand, would set the stage for one of the most enduring mysteries of our time. The man was found leaning against a seawall, immaculately dressed in a suit and tie, his polished shoes untouched by the sand. Despite the serene surroundings, there was an uncanny aura of mystery. The man had no identification on him, no wallet, no hint of who he might have been. But the enigma of the Somerton man was just beginning to unfold. In one of his pockets, tucked away, investigators discovered a hidden compartment. Within it was a scrap of paper, torn from a book, bearing the words, "Tamam shud." Translated from Persian, it means, ended, or finished. The cryptic note added another layer to the mystery, a tantalizing puzzle piece that only deepened the enigma. The body showed no obvious signs of trauma, no indication of foul play. The man's pockets were devoid of the usual items one might expect. No keys, no wallet, no identification. Even the labels on his clothing had been meticulously removed. It was as if someone, or perhaps the man himself, had gone to great lengths to erase any trace of his identity. Investigators were left with a body, a location, and a cryptic note. The man on Somerton Beach had come from nowhere and left no trace of his past. His face, though peaceful, bore the mark of a secret, a riddle wrapped in the enigma of his unknown identity. Despite extensive investigation, the man's identity and cause of death remain a mystery. The Somerton man, in his silent repose, continues to perplex us, an eternal testament to the enduring allure of unsolved mysteries. His story is a whisper from the past, a question that lingers in the winds of Somerton Beach. Who was he and why did he die there? What does the cryptic note found with the Somerton man mean, and who was he? Let's delve deeper into this enigma, starting with the note. Tamam shud, it read, two words that have perplexed investigators for decades. These words, found hidden in a concealed pocket sewn within the man's trouser pocket, are Persian in origin and translate to ended or finished. But what was finished? The man's life, a mission, a relationship? We may never know. However, this isn't where the mystery ends. A car parked near the crime scene held another baffling clue. A book. Not just any book, but a copy of The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of Persian poems. And guess what? The phrase Tamam shud is the last phrase in this book. In this book, a secret compartment held an even more cryptic code, a series of letters arranged in nonsensical patterns. Despite the best efforts of cryptographers and code breakers, this code has never been cracked. Some believe it to be a sophisticated spy code, others think it might be a deeply personal, only decipherable by the man himself, or perhaps a close associate. And this brings us to the theories about the man's identity. Some propose he was a spy, given the Cold War era and the cryptic nature of the evidence. His muscular physique and apparent fitness could suggest a military background. The lack of identification, tags removed from his clothing, it all fits the narrative of a covert operative, doesn't it? Others believe he could have been a heartbroken lover or a man with a troubled past trying to start anew, who met an unfortunate end. The theories are endless, each more fascinating than the last, and yet none provide a definitive answer. And so we are left with an unsolved mystery, a man with no name, a cryptic note, and an uncracked code. The Somerton man case remains one of Australia's most baffling unsolved mysteries, a tantalizing puzzle that continues to captivate the curious and confound the experts. Why are we so fascinated by unsolved mysteries like D.B. Cooper and the Somerton man? It's a question that probes the very core of human curiosity, our unyielding desire to seek answers, to unearth truths hidden beneath layers of enigma. Unsolved mysteries like these two are like complex puzzles waiting for the missing pieces to complete the image. They tease our intellect, challenge our perceptions, and ignite our imaginations. Take D.B. Cooper, for instance, a man who, in the late autumn of 1971, hijacked a plane, demanded a ransom, and then jumped into the night, never to be seen again. What happened to him? Did he survive the daring leap, or did he meet his end in the wilderness? We don't know, and it's this uncertainty, this unending game of what if, that keeps us hooked. Then there's the Somerton man, an unidentified body found on a beach in Australia in 1948. His pockets held no identification, only a scrap of paper with the words Tamam shud, meaning ended, in Persian. His death, his identity, the cryptic code found in a hidden pocket, all remain unsolved. It's a real-life film noir that's been playing for more than 7 decades. These mysteries offer us a break from the monotony of everyday life. They provide an escape into a world filled with suspense and intrigue, where the answers are elusive and the clues are often as puzzling as the mysteries themselves. But perhaps the most compelling reason for our fascination is the hope of resolution. The tantalizing possibility that one day, a new piece of evidence will emerge, a fresh theory will be proposed, or an overlooked clue will be discovered, providing the key to unlock these enduring enigmas. As long as there are unsolved mysteries, there will be those who are driven to solve them. The stories of D.B. Cooper and the Somerton man continue to captivate us, as we search for the answers that remain just out of reach.